Hey, thanks for tuning in. In this video I will show you how you can use Azure DevOps as an alternative to GitHub for remote collaboration and version control. So let's get started. To setting up remote collaboration in Azure DevOps, you need three things. You need Azure, you need Anchorpoint for uploading and downloading the files from Azure DevOps to your computer, and you need, of course, your Unreal Engine project. Let's start by creating a DevOps account. So go to dev.azure.com and then click on the Start for Free button. Then create a new account by creating one. Click on Next, do the email verification, and do some verification again. Enter your birth date, click on Next, and then click on Continue, do some captcha again. And now we are in the backend of Azure DevOps. And we don't need to create a project here, we will do all of that in Anchorpoint. So that's basically all you need to do on Azure DevOps. So let's move over to Anchorpoint. So the first thing we want to do on Anchorpoint is connect it to Azure DevOps. Go to the projects page. You can do this also by clicking on a new tab and then go down to the integrations place. So click on connect application. Now pick on Azure DevOps, click on connect. It will open up a new website where first of all, I need to log in. So basically this one, and then asks me for the consent screen. So this allows Anchorpoint to do all the changes like creating repositories and creating new members in Azure DevOps. I simply click this on accept. And then I move this down and I get this pop-up here. So things I need to set up. The organization, if you only have one, it's the default one. Then the next thing is you need to enter your Git credentials. So from Anchorpoint, we need to log into DevOps. And this is what we're going to do now. So we click on Enter Azure DevOps credentials. And then we choose our account. If you have not done this yet, you need to enter your username and password in this case. And the final thing we need to do is allow the third-party application access via OAuth. So we do this on checking OAuth policies, and this will redirect us directly to the DevOps website. And we want to enable this switch here. All right, that's all we need to do here. Now Azure DevOps is connected. And now if we click on a new project here, we can then go on Git repository and then pick new Azure DevOps repository. Then we need to browse to our folder and simply click on continue. We can leave the name as it is. And we would like to invite somebody to our project and to our workspace. And I will do this here and send the invite. All right, and then finally, I want to create the project. All right, it created the project and the user has been added here to the Anchorpoint and Azure DevOps project. Now we need to upload all the files to DevOps. So first of all, click on Timeline, then click on the changed files. And here we can see that we have over 200 changed files, and that's basically all the files in our project except the ones we would like to ignore. And now we need to write a meaningful message. And you simply need to press push. And that's all. All right, now let's do some work and open up the Unreal scene. Let's do some changes to the editor. And just save this over. Now, if we go back to Anchorpoint, you see that this map file is basically here because Anchorpoint detected that change. Now the only thing we need to do is enter a new message and then press push again. So if you click on the timeline, you can see that we have two projects versions right now. And that will be basically the place each push we do will create a new version. This will be created by you and also by your teammate later on. You can also revert back to these versions if something goes wrong. So if we make a check on DevOps, we see that the product is basically here. If we click on that and we click on repos files, you see that we have all the files basically here. And on the history, we definitely see both versions which we uploaded from Anchorpoint. Normally, you don't need to ever go into DevOps, but for the sake of the tutorial, I would just like to show you how this is synced together. So now let's move to your team member. All right, let's play now the other team member. So what you get as a team member is first of all an invite to a workspace. Make sure that you also have a DevOps account. You created it the same way like we showed before, and that you also have an Anchorpoint account, both with the same email. Then if you are invited to a workspace because Dan, so let's say the person I was before, invited you to that workspace, just click on join. And then you get a button join Git repository. So in this case, click on join, and then you have to pick a folder where all the project files should be downloaded as well. In this case, pick an empty folder on your hard drive to get all the product files, and then you can also create new versions in Unreal like Dan did before. And that's the way how the collaboration basically works. You create new versions in Unreal, you push your changes, you create new versions in Unreal, and you push your changes again and again and again. That's basically all how version control works in Azure DevOps and Unreal Engine. Thank you for watching.